Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to this next part of the beautiful chord series. Thanks for coming back to check out this lesson. Today we're taking a look at some of my absolutely favorite voicings. These are going to be based out of the key of E major, and there's just some beautiful open voicings and some really cool chord sounds that are going to be in this lesson. So let's get started with the lesson. We're going to start off by taking a look at some substitutes for a standard E major chord. Okay guys, so starting off, one of my all-time favorite voicings. This is an E major 9. Now, just kind of a pre-warning, this is a big stretch for this chord. So take your time with this chord, make sure you're warmed up, make sure you give your fingers a little stretch before attempting this, but the work for the chord is absolutely worth the sound. So here's the shape we have. We have an open E string, middle 2 of the A, then we have ring 4 of the D, pointer 1 of the G, pinky 4 of the B, and then an open high E. So again, pretty big stretch, but here's the sound we get. Okay, that is a stunning chord. I love that. And just as a quick side note, you can also move that around the fretboard to other locations. So maybe from the 5th fret, 7th fret, up at the 10th fret, and I'm marking that out with my middle finger. There's a 12, 1 octave higher, so just a really stunning chord shape. I love that one. Okay, now next up is just a big E power chord, but this sounds really good, especially with some gain too. So this is basically just an E5, so we're going to have open E, pointer 2 of the A, middle 2 of the D, pinky 4 of the G, open B, and an open high E. Okay, and there's the sound we get. Okay, moving on to the 2 chord, the F sharp minor. I'm going to take a look at like a F sharp, kind of like a minor 11 sound. So we're going to have middle 2 of the low E, that's going to mute the A string, ring 2 of the D, pinky 2 of the G, open B, and then an open high E. And that's the sound we end up with. Okay, now let's take a look at that F sharp minor a little higher up the neck now, just to give you guys some different options. So here's a voicing we're going to take a look at all the way up here. We're going to have middle on the 9 of the A, pointer 7 of the D, ring 9 of the G, then an open B, then pinky on 9 of the high E. So we're going to use all 4 fingers for this one. It might be a little tricky at first, but the sound is really, really nice of this. Okay, so that's the sound we get with that. Well, let's see, that's basically like another kind of minor 11 voicing there, but this time we actually have the 5th of the chord on top, and I think that just sounds really pretty. Okay, so that is our F sharp minor, the 2 chord. On to the 3 chord now, another one of my favorite voicings. So we're going to take that F sharp minor 11 shape, starting from down here. We're just going to move it up 2 frets. Okay, so now we're at the 4th fret with all the fingers. Then we're going to put our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the high E. And we are going to get basically just a G sharp minor 11. Okay, excuse me, G sharp minor 7. It's the chord we're going to end up with from that shape. Okay, so just a really cool minor 7 sound. Okay, now we're actually going to take the 2nd F sharp minor 11 chord that we looked at, so the one starting from up here, and we're just going to move that exact shape up 2 frets, okay? And that is going to become another G sharp minor 7 chord. So real lovely voicing. Those sound real cool going back and forth, and even these ones from down here. So some cool options there. Onto the 4 chord now, the A major chord. First voicing, another one of my all-time favorites. It's basically like an A major 9, but there's no third in the chord. So here's the voicing that we're actually going to end up with. It's going to be an open A string, pointer 2 of the D, ring 4 of the G, open B, and then pinky 4 of the high E. So really, really lovely voicing. And you can take your pinky off too. And you'll get that kind of sound. So just a stunning voicing. Let's take that all the way up now to the 7th fret for a second substitution. This is just going to be like an A major add 9 chord. So those are our 2 substitutions. It's another movable shape. You can move that to some other places. Just see what kind of sounds you get. You might get some really, not so good sounds from some spots, and you'll get some really great sounds from others. So 5th fret is really pretty. 7 is as well. Let's try like up at the 10th. Kind of a cool sound at the 12th. Then 1 octave higher, so you can just experiment with that. Okay, now onto the 5 chord, the B major chord. First substitution is going to be basically a B sus4. So pointer at 2 of the A, ring 4 of the D, pinky 4 of the G, open B, and then an open high E. Really pretty voicing. Okay, now let's go on to a B major. This is basically going to be like an add 4 or add 11, depending on what way you look at it. Really pretty voicing though. It's going to have this really tense interval in it, but it's going to sound really nice. So pointer 7 of the E. Let's see, then we got ring 9 of the A, pinky 9 of the D, middle 8 of the G, then an open B, open E, high E that is. That's the chord we end up with, so a really pretty voicing. Okay, now let's move on to our C sharp minor chord, our 6th chord. First substitution we're going to take a look at is actually going to be the same voicing that we used for the high F sharp minor and G sharp minor chords. So start on that 2nd substitution for F sharp minor, then just take that down with your middle finger now at the 4th fret of the A. Okay, pointer 2 of the D, ring 4 of the G, open B, and then pinky 4 of the high E. And again, the 5th is the melody note, and I just think that sounds really pretty. And you can take your pinky off. Then go to that A substitution. You can maybe resolve it to that E. So just a quick option there. Okay, the last substitution is going to be another C sharp minor chord. Okay, so this one is going to be basically, if we had taken a look, remember that G sharp minor substitution? Just move that up so your middle finger is now at the 9th fret of the low E. So a lot of these voicings work at different places on the neck. They'll just become a different chordal name. So here's a C sharp minor 7. Okay, now just put the pointer finger up 1 string onto the B string now at the 7th fret. Now we're going to get like, basically like a C minor 11 sound. Which makes like a really nice sound moving back and forth between those 2 chords. Okay, so that concludes this lesson. That kind of wraps up all of the 5 keys that we were taking a look at. I hope this gave you guys some new inspiring ideas that you can mess around with and use in your playing. We're going to take a look. I'm either going to do 1 or 2 more lessons for the Beautiful Chord series on getting some more ideas from some of these shapes we had looked at. So moving them around, moving a note within a chord voicing. Just some neat sounds, a couple ideas I got from Eric Johnson too, from seeing some of his playing and stuff, and some ideas he uses in his chordal playing. So we're not going to wrap up the beautiful chord series quite yet. We're just going to wrap up all the 5 keys that we've taken a look at, but we're going to take a look at a couple more inspiring ideas you can use in your playing to get some new interesting sounds. So yeah, this basically concludes this lesson. I will see you guys back here for, let's see, next week for the next part of the beautiful chord series. Thanks so much, everyone.